Hello. So now let's speak about the VDA, the Virtual Delivery Agent. So this is installed on every physical VM on your site that you make available to your user. So this machine provide application or desktops. The VDA allow the machine to register with the controller. So meaning that the VDA must be connected to the broker so that, of course, it's allowed the machine and the hosted resources to be made available to user. This is something very nice. VDA establish and manage the connection between the machine, okay, so the VM, and the user devices. He verified that a Citrix license is available to the user or session and enforce all policies configured for the session. So this is really the VDA, okay? So VDA is something that you install on this, for example, if you install the VDA here on Windows, let's take out this better. Okay, so for example, uh, you create 4 VMs because you have a lot of user, and you create 4 VM with your template, of course, with 2016 or with MCS. We'll see that after. And on each of these VM, you install the VDA. So you just map the ISO of Citrix and you install VDA. When you install the VDA, he will recognize that it's server OS. Okay, so server operating system like Linux or Windows 2016, 2019, and he will install automatically RDS and all the Citrix binary, and he will start a lot of services. So the VDA you install it here, and when you install the VDA, he will ask you, can you give me the broker? Okay, the IP of the broker or FQDN of the broker, and this information you will type it when you install the VDA, or you can automate it. That you can do the automation of this name, of course, with a lot of solution. We'll see all that in the course. So, and when the Windows here server will power on, he will say, okay, hey, he will say to the broker, hey, broker, I'm here. Okay, so the broker will say, oh, okay, you're here. So, hello, guys. So, I know that now I have 4 server. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, he will see I have 4 server. He write it to the database, and now he's ready to broker the user. Okay, so when user is going to connect, he has these 4 server here, and he can go and do the broker of the session. So connect to one of these server depending of the charge, the load management of the server. Okay, this is the VDA. When you install the VDA, for example, on Windows 10, we'll see that there is two type of FlexCast model. We'll see what is a FlexCast. Okay, you can have pool Windows 10, for example, computer, or you can have dedicated. The difference between the pool and dedicated is that when user is going to connect to his VDI, his Xen desktop, his laptop here, so it's like a laptop. It's a desktop, of course, it's not a laptop. So, and he will when we connect to this Windows 10 computer, for example, of course, before that you must install on all your Windows 10. So, for example, if I have a 1,000 Windows 10 customer, sorry, VMs. So of course I'm not going to install the VDA on each VM and give the name of the broker. Okay, I think that I have other thing to do than to do that. For that, we'll use, for example, MCS. It's like a machine creation services. We're going to create for me with a master, for example, 1,000 VM, or we can use PVS, streaming boot disk. So we'll see that after in the PVS section. And and the other solution, of course, is to install it manually with SCCM, for example, if you want to install a software on this Windows 10 VM. So the VDA will be installed here. And again, this 10,000 VDA will say to D2 broker, because of course, when you have 10,000, you must have at least 2 broker or more, and saying to this broker, hey, we are all here. So now all your user can come and connect directly to the VDA here. I can install also the VDA on Linux apps, the same thing, and you install it here, and you can do the automation. So do installation here, the VDA, and also the broker will say, okay, now I have also some new Linux apps. Okay, this is Linux apps. It's not you can do pull Linux, but this is Linux apps. So this is like server Linux, and you install application here like Windows apps. So this is the VDA. Okay, so for example here, let's go back to one of my VM here. So if you see here, if I go on my POC Citrix here, you can see, for example, that I have catalog here. So it's type of machine here. I have, for example, the virtual apps. Okay, so if I go here and I do view machine here, he's telling me that I have just one. Okay, because I install it manually. This one. So the name of this server is POC apps. And you can see that this server actually is registered. So meaning that this server has the VDA installed and say to the broker, I'm ready now. And if we go directly to this POC apps, okay, it's just one of my server here. So I'm going to go here on my POC apps here. So this is it. So what I did, it's very simple, is that I have installed on this server that I installed manually. Okay, so let's connect to here. I'm going to type my password. So sorry of that. I just have to be sure that I'm in Switzerland. Yeah, okay, that's good. Okay. So this is a server that I have manually installed, okay? Because so just imagine that this is a 2016 server, and on this server, so let me do that. On this server, I have installed some software, okay? So but before that, what is happening is that I have installed on this server manually, but of course you can do automation. What I did is that, okay, I have installed here the VDA, and you can see it's here. So when you install this VDA on a server like this server, okay, if you can see it's a 2016 server here. Yes, here standard edition. So I install this VM, I install the VDA, and when I install the VDA, he will ask me, give me the name of the broker. Okay, so I can even see that because if I go here on the VDA, if I do change, for example, okay, for example, I do customer the setting here. You can see that when I did the installation, of course now I'm changing, but when I did the installation, I just typed the name of the broker here. See, and of course he can do it for me, and we'll see that Citrix can do a lot of things. So you haven't to type the broker manually here. So he asked me also for the protocol and the port. So I just do console. And when you install the VDA, after you rebooted the VDA, sorry about that, this is a demo effect. So after you reboot this VDA is going to go on the POC Citrix here and say, okay, I am registered. So now I am able to see all the application. So I'm able to add application that the user will be able to access remotely. Okay, this is it. So if I add a new application, for example, I do next here, and let's say it was this one, DigiPOC here, and I do add, for example, application from start menu. If you don't have nothing here will appear, so okay, if this is blank, it's mean that on the XenApp server, virtual app server, the VDA is not installed, so he's not able to recognize the application here. Okay, so this is really the VDA. And the VDA, I can install it on Linux and also on remote PC. We'll see that after. Okay, so this is the end of this lecture. So we'll show the VDA. So remember that the VDA is installed on every physical VM, okay, that you make available to the user. Sorry, I'm going to close that. We saw that you can install VDA on server like 2016 on Linux. So it's like if you install VDA on a server, it's meaning that VDA will install RDS, and you after you install all your application, and the user when he click on the application will be run on this server, and the ICA will do the work. So the user will have the application with display on his computer, like if it was inside locally. Okay, we saw that in the what is virtual apps and virtual desktop lecture. And you can install the VDA also on a VM, for example, where you have Windows 10. So you can do the automation with MCS, Machine Creation Services. So you can have, for example, 500, Windows 10 VM. You do the VDI installation automatically, and now the broker can request from the user to this VM. So the user will have either a dedicated VM or a pool. So each time they do a log off, the VM is destroyed. And you can install a VDA also on the on Linux machine, or you can install Linux the VDA on your physical desktop at your office, like TeamViewer. And so the user from all over in the world can connect to his desktop like if it was directly at the office. Okay, thank you. See you at the next lecture. We're going to talk about the other component. Bye-bye.